Us now by phone. Steve, obviously this morning you were on all day talking about the jobs numbers, the Federal Reserve, and now this bizarre firing or soon to be firing. What do we know?
Well, I have to just give you my reaction, Brian, which is it reminds me of that famous comment at the McCarthy hearings where you say, at long last, Senator, have you no decency? This is the most outrageous charge of politicization that I can remember. There is no context in which these numbers have been revised in a political context. These numbers are revised routinely. It's not that they can't be improved and should be improved, but the notion that they have been underreported or revised for political reasons, there's no statistical evidence of that, and there is no proof of that, and it's simply untrue. So, and I think you're concerned that all of a sudden these numbers over time will become unreliable. You're right. They're unreliable on a one-month basis for a whole series of reasons regarding, Brian, the idea that the response to the surveys since the pandemic has gone down markedly. And all of these revisions the president is talking about are situations where the agency is doing what it should do. It's telling the truth about what it knows about the data once it gets more data. They're revised 1 month, they're revised a second time, and then they're revised once a year. And all of these revisions he's talking about are the results of truing up the estimates to the actual data. There's no sense, no chart at all, no statistical at all evidence that these are politicized.
Going to this idea, a lot of people are joining us right now because they hear this headline, the markets are down, they're tuning into CNBC for the first time maybe in a while. So the jobs number, to your point, can be improved, right? I think there's a frustration, doesn't matter what your political stripe is, that the jobs number with these bigger visions can be modified, can be made better. We both, I think everybody would agree on that. Can you remember some kind of a political firing of a government data official at this level? I can't.
Never. That's why I sort of reached back to that 1950s example, because when you go too far in your charges of politicization, it just becomes essentially indecent. There is no situation where, look, you can look at the numbers and you can figure out when they're revised, and you can also go back into the detail and figure out why they're revised, Brian. It's very simple. The data is available for you to see. My concern now is that the president wants to turn the BLS into Pravda, right? That he would appoint somebody that would be politically aligned with him. Now, saying that, it is very difficult to fudge this data politically. It would take an absolute army and a massive conspiracy inside the BLS to politicize this data. I spent, I think it was 3 weeks, understanding how this number is put together back when the late Jack Welch accused the Obama administration of this, and it's very difficult to do it.
You know what?